Good evening, and welcome to our weekly guided meditation, Sunday evening. We'll begin with some chanting, and this evening we'll chant from the dark brown volume. We've got two different chanting books. Will be the dark brown volume, the Teaching on Mindfulness of Breathing, page 85. 85, Teaching on Mindfulness of Breathing. That's in the Pali and English, line by line. And since this is a guided meditation, this is hopefully will be a support to that. So. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Andamaya nganapanasati sutapatang banamase. Anapanasati bhikkhave pavita bhavulikata. Because when mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, Mahapala hoti mahani samsa, it is of great fruit and great benefit. Anapanasati bhikkhave bhavita bahulikata. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, Jataro satipatane paripureti, it fulfills the four foundations of mindfulness. Jataro satipatana bhavita bahulikata. When the four foundations of mindfulness are developed and cultivated, Cittaviveka paripurenti. They fulfill the 7 factors of awakening. Cittaviveka bhavita bahulikata. When the 7 factors of awakening are developed and cultivated, Vijja vimuting paripurenti. They fulfill true knowledge and deliverance. Katang bhavita cha bhikkhave anapanasati katang bahulikata. And how, because his mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated, Mahapala hoti mahani sangsa, so that it is of great fruit and great benefit. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu, here bhikkhus a bhikkhu, aranyagatoa, gone to the forest, rukamulagatoa, to the foot of a tree, Sunyagaragatoa, or to an empty hut, Nisidati palankang apojitva, sits down having crossed his legs, Ujung kayang panidaya parimukang sating upatapetva, sets his body erect, having established mindfulness in front of him. So sato wa asasati, sato wa pasasati. Ever mindful he breathes in, mindful he breathes out. Digang wa asasanto, digang hasasamiti pajanati. Breathing in long, he knows I breathe in long. Digang wa pasasanto, digang pasasamiti pajanati. Breathing out long, he knows I breathe out long. Rasang asasanto, rasang asasamiti pajanati. Breathing in short, he knows I breathe in short. Rasang wa pasasanto, rasang pasasamiti pajanati. Breathing out short, he knows I breathe out short. Sabbakaya pati sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing the whole body. Sabbakaya pati sangvedi He trains thus, I shall breathe out experiencing the whole body. Pasambayang kaya sankarang asasi samiti sikati. He trains thus, I shall breathe in tranquilizing the bodily formations. Pasambayang kaya sankarang pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us, I shall breathe out tranquilizing the bodily formations. Pitipati sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us, I shall breathe in experiencing rapture. Pitipati sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us, I shall breathe out experiencing rapture. Sukapati sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us, I shall breathe in experiencing pleasure. Sukapati sangvedi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us, I shall breathe out experiencing pleasure. Chitta sankara pati sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains thus. I shall breathe in experiencing the mental formations. Chitta sankara pati sangvedi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out experiencing the mental formations. Pasambayang chitta sankarang asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in tranquilizing the mental formations. Pasambayang chitta sankarang pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out tranquilizing the mental formations. Cittaviveka sangvedi asasi samiti sikati. He trains thus. I shall breathe in experiencing the mind. Cittaviveka sangvedi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains thus. I shall breathe out experiencing the mind. Abhippamodayang cittang asasi samiti sikati. He trains thus. I shall breathe in gladdening the mind. Abhippamodayang cittang pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out gladdening the mind. Samadahang cittang asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in concentrating the mind. Samadahang cittang pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out concentrating the mind. Vimochayang cittang asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in liberating the mind. Vimochayang cittang pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out liberating the mind. Anicca nupasi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in contemplating impermanence. Anicca nupasi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out contemplating impermanence. Viraga nupasi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in contemplating the fading away of passions. Viraga nupasi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out contemplating the fading away of passions. Nirodha nupasi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in contemplating cessation. Nirodha nupasi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out contemplating cessation. Bhatinissagga nupasi asasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe in contemplating relinquishment. Bhatinissagga nupasi pasasi samiti sikati. He trains us. I shall breathe out contemplating relinquishment. Evang bhavita ko bhikkhave yana panasati eva Bahulikata, because that is how mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated. Mahapala hoti mahani sangsati, so that it is of great fruit and great benefit. Okay, establish ourselves in a seated posture, sitting meditation, whether that's on the floor, on a bench, on a chair. It's really up to us as individuals. But what's important is to establish a posture that can be reasonably comfortable for a reasonable amount of time. And you might be wondering what reasonable is. Sometimes meditation can be it can be pain involved. So we just chanted the really key meditation teachings. There's two primary key teachings on meditation that in our tradition, in the Theravada Sutta tradition, attributed to the Buddha, and that deal directly with meditation. So this is one of them. And then there's the Satipatthana Sutta, which has many similarities. That's the teaching on the four foundations of mindfulness. So, mindfulness is a word we hear a lot, especially in the last 25 years or so. And I think that's a very wholesome, I'm very glad for that. It's become a word that so many of us have become familiar with. Mindfulness. One of Ajahn Sumedho's books, one of his earliest collections of teachings that were put together from his talks, Mindfulness, the Path to the Deathless. And, mindfulness. And you wonder, what's deathlessness? Well, it's a bigger topic for this evening, but it's something doesn't die, and so anything that's born dies. If it comes into being, it will fade away. It will pass away, whether it's a biological being, which is the way we mostly associate birth and death. But in the Buddhist context, it's arising and passing. It's things coming into being, lingering, never really static, never really holding still, and then fading away. So we call that birth and death. So the joy comes and goes. Bliss comes and goes. Sorrow comes and goes. You see the pattern. So this is not to be just intellectually understood. It's meant to be investigated and seen for ourselves. And meditation and developing is a tool for developing this mindfulness, to be able to really be aware, to really know and see the arising and ceasing. And the more we see, the more we know, and the more, if we develop discernment and wisdom, then the less we will cling to things that are moving. The less we will grasp at things that they're all moving. But it's this mindfulness is really, it's crucial. If we're not aware, we might easily think, well, if I don't know about it, then what's the problem? But that's not necessarily how it works. There's a lot of stuff we're just simply not aware of. And that's why sometimes meditation, it can sometimes be a little bit frustrating, because we start to see things we weren't aware of before, and we think, oh, I didn't know about that before. I was doing just fine before I knew about that. Maybe seeing some things in our habitual ways of living. So not to go on too long here, so we can get into some meditation. So one last thing to say is that what we just chanted, you see, it's not just mindful of the breath. It was mindfulness, contemplating, experiencing, seeing. And Buddha taught one of the other names for his path was Viryavada. There's a path of energy. There's a path of effort. It's not just sitting down and watching the breath. However, watching the breath, noticing the breath is really a marvelous practice. That's why it's been used for so many thousands of years. So, in our posture, establish a relaxed yet gently alert posture, so we're not slumped, nor is our body rigid. So this relaxed attention, relaxed alertness, awake. And consciously relaxing all the muscular tension that's not needed at this time. Using just enough physical energy to remain in this poised position. Let's start to tune in to that gentle rhythm of the body breathing without changing the way we're breathing, or without consciously changing the way we're breathing. So we just noticing, and we can notice the breath in whatever part of our body is most easily cognized or felt. So for these next few minutes, just tune in. Let's tune in to just a simple act of breathing. pause, and we gently return to that same place in the body where we were noticing the breathing process. Just keep returning there. Each time the mind is drawn away. Just because we sit down and try to do this practice, placing our attention on the breath like this, it becomes very clear that the mind, it wants to move. Just sitting down and regarding the breath isn't going to shut the mind off. So I like to think that we should not make an enemy out of thinking. Instead, just this gentle training of noticing when the mind becomes active, and gently just leaving it be and returning to the breath. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Not beating ourselves up. And just also make a mental note. Actually use the mind and make a mental note. Oh, this is just thinking. Mental formations, they're cause. Things happen. We're active. We have to think about things. That's all. Return to the gentle rhythm of the breath. Every perception that we have ever experienced and will ever experience comes through our 6 senses. So in Buddhism there's 6. There's the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mind itself, intellect. Everything that we know. has come through those 6 sense doors. So with all of these 6 senses, you have the sense organ. So taking the eye, the physical eye. And then you have objects, material objects that the eye might see. With the ear there are sounds. With the nose there are smells. With the tongue there are tastes, food, drink. With the body any sort of tactile sensation. So this meditation is a body meditation. And the last one is the intellect, the mind, mental formations. So I was reading a lovely sutta, a lovely teaching this afternoon. Very simple. Pointing out that let's use the eye, or let's use the body with our meditation. There's no suffering, there's no dukkha in the body. There might be pain and pleasure, but there's no dukkha. That's not where the dukkha is, and the dukkha is not in what it's sensing. But the dukkha, the suffering, is in the grasping. We've got the body, the sense organ of the body. We have the sensation of the breath. There's a knowing of those things. And if we don't grasp, if we don't cling, there's no suffering. Apply that to all 6 senses. And so the reason I'm pointing this out is that this is the whole reason for the path is non-suffering. Mindfulness, seeing if we're grasping, see if we're clinging. And clinging is an action, and we can let go. So as we continue to meditate, we'll go back to silence. Whatever enters our 6 sense doors, just leave it be. Don't cling, don't push, don't grab. Just notice and return to the breath. phrases that we chanted in the chanting this evening, and contemplating impermanence. Breathing in, contemplate impermanence. Breathing out, contemplating impermanence. And the breath changing. Speed, depth, duration. Bodily sensations changing. Comfort, discomfort. Actively contemplating this key element of the Dhamma. All things are changing. All things are impermanent, transient. as we near the end of our meditation this evening. And we'll be opening up the other senses, the other sense bases more, opening the eyes, moving around, experiencing different things. So just as a reminder, there are these 6 senses, and whether we're sitting in meditation or not, they're functioning. Maybe sitting with our eyes closed, of course we're not seeing things. We're still hearing, thinking, tactile sensations. Still at least a few of them operating. And as we go about our business, the different senses will come to the foreground. So just keep in mind that there's the sense organ itself. There's the perception through that sense organ, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. And then there's what we do with those perceptions. So we can use this mindfulness whenever we're, 24/7 we can use this mindfulness to be aware if we are grasping, if we are experiencing dukkha, suffering, dissatisfaction, dis-ease, discontent. What are we hanging on to? We're doing that. We're grasping. We're clinging. Nobody else is clinging for us. We're doing that, and that's both. That to me, that's a relief. Because if I'm doing it, then it means I can stop doing it. If somebody else is doing it, I might not be able to stop them. But people can't make us suffer. People can make us feel pain, but they can't make us suffer. We're in charge of that. We're responsible. So let's stick with the program of being mindful, responsible, letting go. Chant the Buddha's words on loving kindness in English. I think that's on page 37 in the dark brown volume. Now let us chant the Buddha's words on loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another, or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child. So with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. We'll chant the closing homage in Pali and English, and that's on page 16 in the same book. Supatipanno